Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Unji, and today I'm doing a breakdown of this piece I made of Shenhe from Genshin Impact. So for this piece I decided to be unconventional with my method. This will not work for everyone because you kind of have to know how to draw the human body to be able to do this, because I used a 3D model for the posing. I also traced over it. However, when I traced over it, I cannot leave it that way because the 3D model doesn't have the correct proportions for certain characters, or if your character has a certain body type. So I actually had to use the liquify tool to push the lines around to be able to make the proportions look better. So before I even started, I made a list of everything that I wanted for the piece. So I started with the basic idea first before I made the list. Now, this is another reason that I ended up having to use the model. It's not that I can't draw. Sometimes my brain doesn't want to make sense of anything. So I had an idea. It was not working out this way, so I decided to change it. I would not always do this, but for the sake of the idea I had in my head, that's what we had to do. So I got the model, posed it in its pose, and it's very useful to know how to pose a 3D model. So yeah, that's what happened here. Also, you can use the 3D model for reference to draw from there, but seeing I was having a really hard time that day, I ended up just having to trace it, and then I was going to go over it and fix it after that, which is what I did. Because even though this model looks okay, it's not okay to me, as I saw later. So I just put in the rope in the background roughly, then I drew in her face roughly, her hair. Then I started putting some of the lines on separate layers, and I just made them a different color, so it'd be easier to tell where they were at. Obviously I'm going to change this later, but when you have a lot of detail like this character has, it's very helpful to separate everything. Okay, so after I got that done, I just erased parts of the body layer that need to be erased so that I could appropriately see the outfit. And I had to use the liquify tool here, fix the body proportions, and just added a few more things to her outfit. And then I decided to draw over the lines again. But as you see, I got a little sidetracked here because I decided to put a flat on way too early, and I just wanted to make sure the form looked right. You can also do this by making the silhouette before you make the character. However, I just wanted to do it this way, which made extra work. I would probably not do this again like this because I don't usually do it this way in the first place. But I really wanted to make sure this character looked as much like herself as possible. So I put in the extra steps. So then you'll see here that I decided to be even crazier and add all the darks and the lights too early again before I even had the line art where I wanted it to be. And I decided to go back over all the line art, very meticulous, because this was about the third time for some of the line art, and went over it all again, made sure it looked right, had some of the details incorrect. And I finally fixed the base flat layer after I got all the lines right. Then I went back over it with the colors, adjusted them as necessary, and actually had a whole bunch of layers just so I could edit each piece separately, which does take a long time to do, but yep, I'm crazy. I like to do stupid stuff like that. Some artists might get upset about that, but that's just the process I did for this video. That's not how I always do it. So it is helpful if you do gradients, because gradients can be really hard to fix if you mess them up. So I had seen this in some cosplays and some other fan art that Shenhe had a leather kind of texture on the black parts of her outfit. So I actually looked at her character model and it did in fact have a leather texture. So what I did was I took a picture of the leather texture and I put it on everywhere that had this darker black texture. And then I just changed it to a multiply layer and erased any parts that overlapped. Because I made the photo clipping mask over top of the colored layer. That way it wouldn't go into the other colors. And I actually had to separate it because I actually clipped all the colors to the base color to save some time, which did help. So I did that. Then, when I was getting near the end of making all her colors on her outfit, I realized she also had this design on the inside of her sleeves, which is like a star design. I just happened to have a star brush similar to that, so drew it in a line, copied and pasted it several times, and turned that into the pattern for that, and then overlaid that there. Then for the metal, I just painted it with a grungy brush, one of the paint brushes in Clip Studio. And then I almost forgot this detail, but I got it in there, and it was that her vision is ice, which is cryo, so I also had a snowflake brush and I put that in the background. Lastly, something else that I did here was I took the light color in the background, the key light, and I reflected it onto her hair and her outfit, and also the robes, which also explains the snowflakes being a reddish pink color. And so I had these tiny little strands coming off of her hair, and I put some tiny spots of light pink on there, and that's just to make it pop a little bit more against that background that's really close to that color, and also because your strains do that sometimes. And that is how it was done. Thank you so much for watching. If there are any other characters that you would like to see next, just comment below and I'll see if I can get around to drawing any of them and making some more videos. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.